Hey everyone, it's Laura from the blog artreallyhouse.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make a honey vanilla beeswax candle. Making your own beeswax candle is actually very simple to do. All you have to do is melt some beeswax, pour it into any type of container you want for your candle. I'm using little mason jars because I think these are really cute. You can use an old coffee mug or any type of heat resistant container to make your candle in. And then you have to put a wick in it. Once the wax is hardened and the wick is in there, trim it down, light it, you're done. That's how easy it is to make a candle. Now, today's candles, I'm adding in a few extra ingredients to make them these beautifully scented candles. So I'm gonna be using honey and vanilla, and I am just using pure vanilla extract and raw honey for this. You can purchase vanilla fragrances, and you can even get a vanilla essential oil. Now, my thing with that is that most fragrances have added in chemicals and toxins that are not natural. So I try to stay away from any type of fragrances. Now, if you can find one that's natural, you can use that instead of the vanilla extract. And then also, I'm not using vanilla essential oil. For one, I don't have pure vanilla essential oil. It is pretty expensive to purchase. And for two, when you're scenting candles with essential oils, you need a ton of oils to get a scent in there. And so I prefer to not use oils in my candles and then just use my diffusers while lighting my candle, so you can kind of get that same effect of the cozy candle, the good smelling oils from the diffuser, without having to waste too many oils in making your candles. So I'm just going to be using some vanilla extract. So to start off, I'm just going to melt my beeswax. I just have some yellow beeswax that I bought, and these are in those little pellets, and when they're small like this, it does make it easier for them to melt. It melts a little bit quicker because it's just little pieces of beeswax. Now, if you have like a big chunk of beeswax, or if I've used that in the past, you can chop it up into little pieces first to make it a little bit easier or faster really to melt. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stick this bowl over top of this big saucepan that I have here. This has some water in it, and what I'm doing is I'm creating a double boiler. So I'm gonna put this over top of the boiling water and allow all of this wax to melt, and then we will come right back for the next step. Okay, so now that my wax is all melted, I removed the bowl from the heat, and now you want to allow your wax to cool down slightly. I use a kitchen thermometer and just wait till it gets down to about 125 degrees before adding in my scents, my honey, and my vanilla. Now you can also add in some essential oils if you want to change up the scent a little bit. I do suggest letting it cool down before adding in any of your scents, because if it is too hot, it can make it lose the smell of the things that you're adding in. Same goes for your beeswax. When you're heating it up, you want to make sure that you are heating it up slowly, because if you heat it up too fast, it can make it lose the scent of your beeswax. So now that it's cooled down slightly, I'm going to add in my honey and my vanilla to give it that pretty honey and vanilla scented candle. So I am doing about 4 tablespoons of honey inside of my wax, and then I'm gonna add in about 8 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Then using a spoon, you just want to mix this up until everything is well combined. If you add in your honey before your wax is cool enough, it will harden slightly, but as you stir it, it will mix into your wax. So just make sure everything is stirred all up before you transfer it to your containers. Okay, so now we're going to secure our wick into our mason jars. I have these little metal things that actually came with a candle making kit where I can set it right on top of a mason jar. It kind of fits on multiple different things, and you can put your wick in there to center it. Now, if you don't have one of these, you can just put a little bit of glue on the bottom of your wick right here on the little metal part, and then stick it down there in the middle of your candle to secure it. You want to make sure that your wick is centered in your container so that when your wax completely hardens, your wick is where you want it to be. So I'm just going to place my wicks in my mason jars. It is time to pour your wax into your containers. After you get your wax poured into your container, you're just gonna wait for it to completely harden, and then once it's completely hardened, it will be ready to trim your wick. I like to leave my wick about 1/4 of an inch long. When you light it, if it's smoking at all, it might be because your wick's too long, because you can trim it down a little bit more, but make sure you don't trim it down too much because then it'll be harder to light. And then once your candle wax is completely hardened, then it will be ready to light and enjoy. So hopefully this video tutorial was helpful, showing you how to make a vanilla honey scented candle. If you want more candle recipes, be sure to check out the links down in my description box. I have some citronella bug repelling candles, I have some Christmas scented candles, and also a recipe to show you how to make candles in a crock pot. So I will link all of those candle recipes down below. And if you're new here, be sure to check out my free essential oil webinar where I teach you all the different ways that we use essential oils here in our home. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.